what's up YouTube? Houston here. Look, let me ask you, do you truly know the difference between business credit and business funding? All right? And most people don't know the difference, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to easily get business credit, but understanding the difference between business credit and business funding. Now, in terms of business credit, we're talking about like Home Depot, Lowe's, Granger, Seton, Uline, right? So that's what business credit and store credit, that's business credit, okay? But when we're talking about business funding, and to my understanding, most of you all want business funding, all right? So with business funding, that's when you're talking about Amex, Visa, MasterCard, business lines of credit, right? Now, I made a video explaining to you that in terms of business credit, you don't have to have business credit to get business lines of credit if you have an existing business that's generating revenue, all right? So that's number one. But some of the easiest business, if you're going for business credit, because you may have a restaurant, or you may have a food truck, or you may have some type of janitorial supplies, then business credit can definitely help you out at that point. Or you may be into rehabbing properties, so you're into real estate and development and stuff, so business credit can help you out there. Now, in terms of building up your business credit, and the easiest business credit to start out with would be Crown, okay? Crown Office Supplies. Now, the reason why Crown Office Supplies is because they report to the major business credit bureaus, okay? And I'm gonna make a separate video breaking those down as well, because I think if you understand why this is so important, I think you'll understand, you'll have a better path to getting the money you need to continue to grow your business, all right? So with Crown Office Supplies, all right, so they report to DNB, Experian, Equifax, all right? Now, here's the thing about it with Crown Office Supply, they may charge you an annual fee, okay? And there are other criteria. You may have to be in business for maybe 60 to 90 days sometimes, all right? But that's one of them. Now, these here are net 30s and stuff like that, and you guys know that when it comes to net 30s, I don't think it's necessary. But again, for those of you that like I said, have janitorial type of businesses, restaurants, food trucks, car washes and things of that nature, then yes, I would definitely tell you that net 30s can help you out to make sure you get the supplies and stuff you need and build up your business credit file. Now, you have a wise business plan, right? Think about it. With wise business plan, they report to Equifax and DNB. So Equifax, D and B, right? The reason I'm choosing these, again, because they're reporting to the major credit business bureau, and it's going to help thicken up your file. Now, you have another one, eCredible. And with eCredible, they report to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian, so DNB, Equifax, Experian, and Credit Safe, okay? Here's another thing. You don't need a whole lot of net 30s. It's not necessary. So you don't have to go overboard, because I hear people talking about, well, I got 20 net 30s and I still wasn't able to get an unsecured credit card. And I'll tell you why most people don't get those unsecured credit cards, even though they have a lot of net 30s. So give me one moment. Let's get through these here net 30s first. Then you have Quill. Now, understanding that Quill only reports to DNB, but if you're bootstrapping your business and stuff like that, Quill is definitely one of those ones you want to have because they have a component in it to help you get more funding. So with Quill, they want you to spend at least $100 up front, and then the following month they want you to spend $50 in order for them to report, okay? Where it used to be one and done, and that's not the case anymore, okay? So another one you have is NAV, all right? So with NAV, you have DNB, Equifax, Experian, okay? Excuse me. DNB, Equifax, and Experian that they report to. Okay, and NAV gives you access to your business credit report, so that way you can see what your DUNS score is, what your Experian score is, what your Equifax score is, and they actually give you a Vantage score on the personal credit side, so you can see what your personal credit score is. All right, now here's the thing about it. We're just these 5, but I want you all to understand. In reference to net 30s, the reason I tell you you don't need a lot of net 30s is because once they start reporting stuff like that, that's going to help you build up your business credit file. All right. Now here's the thing about it. Some of these here net 30s, they may take up to 45 to 60 days to report. 45 to 60 days. So that may be something that may not be in your interest, okay? So that's the reason that I'm putting this up here. Now, here's another reason that people end up not getting unsecured business credit cards. Check this out. One is corporate email. Your corporate email is more important than a DUNS number. That's right. Your corporate email is more important than a DUNS number. And so, because people, they may be starting a business as a DBA or something like that, then they never set up their website. They never got a professional email and stuff like that. So companies don't take them as serious, okay? Now, here's another thing that may shock you as well. So then you have the corporate email, like I just said. You're a business and don't have a website? That doesn't make any sense. Why don't you have a website if you're saying that I'm operating a business? Okay? So that when you are approaching financial institutions, they see that they're going to ask you, do you have a website? Because they want to look and make sure that you're not looking like a scammer. Okay? So that's the reason that they ask you this. Another thing is the place where you bank. That's right. Most people, they may start out with a community bank. They may start out with a credit union, like Navy Federal or something like that, right? Because they have business bank accounts. But the problem is with most credit unions and community banks, they don't report to the business credit bureaus. And because they don't report to the business credit bureaus, all those deposits and stuff, makes it very challenging for you to get more funding, especially from the major gatekeepers. So we talked about your major gatekeepers, which we talked about Chase Bank. Then we said American Express. You have U.S. Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Capital One. So, you know, some of the bigger gatekeepers is when you want to get maximum amount of funding. And because many people, they may have a lot of net 30s, but they're not banking with the right bank. They don't have a website. They don't have an email. So another thing, and this is a very big, not only with the banks, they don't do the weekly deposits. The weekly deposit. They'll open up a bank account and they don't do nothing with it. Nothing. They'll just open up a business bank account. No deposits, is nothing. And so because you don't do that, that doesn't help your business bank rating. All right. And so this is where a lot of people end up getting caught up, because if you don't have a business bank rating, you don't have no deposits, how are we to know that you are a legitimate business? Okay. So that's the reason why I tell people that make sure, if anything else, making those weekly deposits is more important than these net 30s here. That's more important than these net 30s here, because you're actually building a relationship with the banks. So the banks see that you're actually operating. But again, choosing the right financial institution that's going to actually report that information anyway. Now, that's in reference to net 30s and understanding why people with net 30s do not get funding, even though they have a lot of net 30s. They have a Dunn's number, they have a 80 paydex score. That's the reason. Now let's understand about business funding. If you have bad credit and you done started your business, if you have this stuff over here already, okay, then in terms of having bad credit and trying to be able to get access to this type of funding, business credit funding, then I would tell you to start out like this. You have Divvy. They report to Small Business Financial Exchange, shared with DMB. Okay? If you have bad credit, they have a credit builder program, but it still reports. Then you have BOFA. BOFA has a security card. Okay? And it starts out at $1,000. Yes, it is a hard pull, FICO 8 Experian. Okay? But again, you're wanting to go for business funding anyway. So you want to make your business credit file as strong as possible. All right? Now, I would not make Bank of America my main bank. I would probably choose like maybe Chase, Citibank, or Capital One, because they report to most of the business credit bureaus, okay? So that's the reason that I would not go for them. Now, say that you have at least a 580 or higher credit score, then I would probably do the Capital One Spark Business. So with the Capital One Spark Business, 580 credit score. And yes, they do a hard pull on all three credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Okay, but it's a business credit card, and all you need is at least a 580 credit score. All right, again, because you're trying to position yourself for business funding. This is what most people want. They want that business funding. They're thinking business credit. This is the psychological aspect of it, but the reality is this. They want business funding. So I'm pretty sure that's what you want. You want business funding. You don't want a whole lot of products and stuff if you really don't need them. Okay? Now, you have that. Then you have TIFL. TIFL, to my understanding, they do have a business credit program. So they report to DMB, Equifax, Experian. So now you're actually properly building the foundation of your business credit file, okay? This is how you start to easily get more business credit funding, larger amounts of money and stuff like that, because you have that foundation. When I started, again, they did not have these here products, okay? And because they didn't have these products, my shortest way for me to build business credit was actually to do it with the banks, directly with the banks, with the deposits and everything. That's what helped me build up my business credit as fast as I needed it to be in order to get more funding. And once that happened, the ball just kept rolling down the hill, getting more funding and more funding. But this foundation, especially if you have bad credit, this is where you need to start. Now, there's another one. You have Corpay. Now with Corpay, it's hard pull, FICO 8, Experian, but you have to have at least a 600 credit score. All right, so those are the accounts you want to focus on. If you want business credit funding, then this is what you need to focus on. If you want business credit, just business credit individual, then you would want to start with these, okay? And then transition over to these, or you can mix them up. But make sure that you have the right bank account, and make sure that you're doing those weekly deposits as well as the corporate email and website. Now, if you have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, or how to remove negative things off of your personal credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.